Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ed Woodward is in talks to stay at Manchester United under a new role. After we all thought he would have been gone for good at the end of the year, it did get announced back in April that Woodward would be leaving Manchester United. Woodward is obviously refusing to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Woodward has said so many times that he'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe, even when we was enduring them bad periods under him. Ed Woodward has had a 16-year association with the club. He's obviously been heavily criticised. Now, this morning, I gave you an update on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Fabrizio Romano came out yesterday and said that the Manchester United board have held no talks with other managers and still support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Manchester United have no plans to replace Solskjaer, despite the Manchester City defeat. Manchester United are prepared to give Solskjaer a little bit more time. Solskjaer is expected to be in charge for the game against Watford after the international break. But defeat to Watford should see him sacked. He said the other day that Manchester United consider sacking Solskjaer following player revolts. The pressure has increased on Solskjaer following back-to-back home defeats to Manchester City and Liverpool, and Manchester United have only won one of their last 6 Premier League games. On Monday, Solskjaer flew back home to Norway with his family. Manchester United may have to stick with Solskjaer until the summer because Man United are running out of time to find a replacement for Solskjaer. Now, there has been a lot of managers on Manchester United's agenda. Obviously, there has been talks of Ralf Rangnick coming in as the interim manager until the end of the season. By the way, Romano has spoke about Ralf Rangnick. He said Manchester United turned down Ralf Rangnick. I'd like to see him come in as our director of football, to be honest with you. There has been talks of Zinedine Zidane coming in, but he's not interested in the job. There has been a lot of rumours of Brendan Rodgers coming in. The other day, like I updated you, it said that Brendan Rodgers verbally agreed to become Man United's new manager, but his preference would be to wait until next season. Pochettino, he's also been spoken about as well. Pochettino is highly rated by Sir Alex Ferguson. Eric Ten Hag, he's another manager on Manchester United's agenda, but apparently Eric Ten Hag is reluctant to leave Ajax. You know, if Solskjaer does get sacked, Manchester United will have to pay him £7.5 million because in the summer Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And if Solskjaer gets sacked, he will be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Man United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And Manchester United are not even known as a sacking football club because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. Solskjaer's been given long enough now. He's been in charge of Manchester United almost 3 years. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason Solskjaer got the job on a permanent basis was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. Solskjaer ran out of excuses a long time ago because Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year, spent £141 million, made 4 signings. The board do continue to back Solskjaer and they backed him in the summer transfer window. Manchester United have got a very, very good squad. So in reality, Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season, or at least competing for the Premier League. Manchester United have not won the Premier League since 2013. Solskjaer did say at the start of this season that his ambition was to win the Premier League. But one of the biggest problems at Man United at the moment is that Manchester United are not playing as a team. They're a team of individuals, like a lot of pundits have spoken about. You've got the likes of City, Liverpool and Chelsea that all play as a team. That explains why they're in a much better position than Manchester United at this moment in time. So there you go. And if poor performances and poor results persist from now, Manchester United will not finish in the top 4 this season. It would be a disaster if we finished out of the top 4, because that means we wouldn't have Champions League football for next season. And reflecting on that, it would persuade our star players to leave. Solskjaer is not capable of winning trophies as Manchester United manager. He hadn't won a trophy yet as Man United manager. We haven't won anything since 2017. The expectations are far too high for Ollie to exceed as Man United manager, and Solskjaer is in a position that he shouldn't be in. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over though at Man United it was going to be a massive job. Not only that, he knew it was going to be a difficult job as well, despite Solskjaer knowing the club through thick and thin. Ollie knew he had a lot to do when he got appointed in as Man United manager. And since Solskjaer's come in, I think he's developed the youth well. He's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, like he surely would do when he got appointed in. In certain aspects, Solskjaer's brought consistency back. Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager. And Manchester United have spent over £400 million under Solskjaer. So in the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he recommended Edison Cavani in, Donny van de Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. We got 4 of those players on deadline day in the summer of 2020, and in this year's summer transfer window he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and of course re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. Solskjaer's enjoyed 5 transfer windows now as permanent Manchester United manager. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He loaned quite a few players out in this year's summer transfer window. He loaned Williams out, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Ethan Laird, Tahith Chant and Facundo Palistri. Got rid of a lot of players permanently. The only player he sold in this year's summer transfer window was Daniel James, so that was disappointing from a Manchester United perspective. But a lot of other players have been offloaded permanently. You know, Solskjaer offloaded James Wilson and Borthwick Jackson. He offloaded Sergio Romero and Joel Pereira. He obviously offloaded Odi Nagalo, Fosamenta and Rojo back in January. He's also offloaded Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian, Fellaini. Fellaini left back in January 2019. He also offloaded Gomez, Herrera, Lukaku and Sanchez. So there you go. And some progress has been made under Solskjaer, because Solskjaer's got us to semi-finals. He got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup last season, and last season he got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final as Man United manager, but unfortunately we didn't win it. And last season Solskjaer got us a second place finish, and in his first full season he got us a third place finish. So there you go. I adore Solskjaer a lot, just like all Manchester United fans do, reflecting on what he's done for the club. At the end of the day, Solskjaer's a legend of the club. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. And the reason Solskjaer's lasted as long as he has done is because he's a legend of the club. But reflecting on Manchester United's poor performances and poor results, you can't just put all the blame on Solskjaer. There's also players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances. Solskjaer is accountable for some things, obviously. Obviously, Solskjaer's tactics and his team selections have been questioned a lot. So there you go. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. That is definitely a concern. But Manchester United have got some very, very good players. Obviously, we've got Edison Cavani, that's very, very good. Cavani is obviously now out with injury until December. He was out with injury earlier on this season. Cavani didn't play any part in the game against City. He came on in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. Yes, he played in the 3-0 win against Tottenham, and what a good performance he put out. You know, he scored a very good goal. Also should have scored in the first half because he had a very good headed chance. And against Tottenham, he was playing alongside Ronaldo, and that was intriguing. Cavani and Ronaldo do play well together. Cavani has got under a year left on his Man United contract. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension. This season, I think, is his second full season at Man United. We got Cavani on a free transfer. Unfortunately, I think Cavani's going to be leaving next year, but I don't want him to leave with the impact he's made since he's come in. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. Not only that, he was a long-serving player when he was at PSG. You've got Marcus Rashford, that's also good as well, and he's done well in quite a few games since he's come back. But on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Rashford did come on in the 2-0 defeat to Man City, did okay. I thought he was poor in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. Made an impact when he came on in the 3-0 win against Tottenham because he scored our third goal and it was a lovely breakaway goal. Rashford also scored in the 3-2 win against Atalanta at Old Trafford earlier on this season. He was very poor in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. His positioning was poor. Couldn't really get any runs in behind and he made an horrendous back pass in that game. That could have been costly. Rashford scored on his comeback in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester. Don't forget Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while and at one point he had to have an operation on his shoulder. Most of the time we do play Rashford on the left wing. We need to keep him on that left wing because that's where he's mostly effective. He's far superior on the left wing to the right wing and up top. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. You've also got Bruno Fernandes. That's an exceptional player. Fernandes is one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. Now, Fernandes starts the vast majority of Manchester United's games. Now, he has been consistent in a lot of games for Man United, but on the other side of things, there's been quite a few games where Fernandes has looked off the pace. I thought Fernandes was very poor last weekend against Man City. You know, he looked lost for ideas, he was sloppy, and he gave the ball away a lot of times. I thought Fernandes played well in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta. He got an assist in that game for Ronaldo's first goal. It was a lovely back heel by Fernandes to set Ronaldo up. In the 3-0 win against Tottenham, Fernandes played a part in 2 goals. Fernandes has got a lot of assists for Man United, and he's got a lot of assists so far this season. Also got a lot of goals as well to go with assists. Manchester United got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. He's been a Manchester United player for almost 2 years now. Last season, Fernandes got named Player of the Year and he's been named Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Earlier on this season, Fernandes did make it clear that he wants to stay at Man United. When Fernandes came to Manchester United, he did say that I've come to Manchester to win trophies. He's got a contract with the club till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. You've obviously got Mason Greenwood. That's another good player. Talented player, you know, still young, got a lot of development in him. I can assure he's got a long-term future at Man United. Greenwood obviously played alongside Ronaldo in the defeat to City. That partnership doesn't work out, Greenwood and Ronaldo. Greenwood obviously came on against Atalanta. He got the assist for Ronaldo's second goal. Greenwood didn't play any part against Tottenham. He scored a stunning goal in the 4-2 defeat to Leicester earlier on this season. Greenwood's got 4 goals in the league so far this season. At one point, though, Greenwood did go a while without scoring, but despite that, he's been a revelation since he broke into our senior squad. He made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. You know, last season he signed a new 4-year contract. Greenwood's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. Most of the time, Greenwood does play on the right wing because that's where he's mostly effective. I think he's better on the right wing than he is up top or on the left. I'm not too keen on Greenwood on the left. I think he's played on the left for Man United before, but obviously not much. You've got Sancho, that's a good player, but Sancho has been very poor for Manchester United so far. And reflecting on that, fans have been getting on Sancho's back, but like I've said before, I think Solskjaer is the one to blame for Sancho's poor performances, because when Solskjaer decides to play Sancho, he persistently plays him out of position. I said Sancho will do well at Man United providing that he's used correctly. It does take some players time to settle in. There's quite a few games though that Sancho doesn't even play in, so reflecting on that, does he have a future at Manchester United? To be fair to Sancho though, he recently came on against Man City and he made an impact. Sancho did enjoy 4 good years with Borussia Dortmund before he came to Man United. But the question is, can Sancho replicate what he did in his 4 years with Dortmund? Obviously, he hasn't replicated it so far. Manchester United got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract to Man United till June 2026 as an option of a further year. You know, Manchester United have got the best player in the world overall in Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's obviously becoming infuriated with Manchester United, and don't forget he mocked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. Ronaldo did play in the 2-0 defeat to Man City last weekend. He was anonymous in that game because he got very little service. Ronaldo did have 2 chances in the game. His first chance came from a volley, produced a good save for Maddison, and his second chance produced a good save for Maddison, but his second chance was offside anyway. Obviously, Ronaldo saved Solskjaer in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta because Ronaldo scored twice in stoppage time at the end of both halves. If it wasn't for Ronaldo in that game, we'd have lost. Ronaldo scored the winner in the reverse fixture against Atalanta at Old Trafford. He scored the winner against Villarreal earlier on this season. He scored a very good volley in the 3-0 win against Tottenham. The other week he also had a disallowed goal against Tottenham, and he got an assist against Tottenham as well as a goal. That was his first assist since he re-signed for the club. We are relying on Ronaldo far too much. Ronaldo recently got named Player of the Month for October. Dad, are you back already? Are you back? Oh. Have you?
Yeah, I know, guy. Remember Barbara?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got her house back. They've got all new windows and that in. He said start doing them in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I said I'll do them next time up here with you, alright?
Alright.
I don't know where she's at that number 30 Lancashire Way. She still owes me.
Yeah.
Avenue still owe me. And Fallswood Grove and that 13 quid on Bell House.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go get her. Yeah, I must have it. Must have it back for that to be last bit.
Yes, I was saying Ronaldo got named Player of the Month for October. He now has back-to-back awards because he got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. But he has got 9 goals in all competitions since he re-signed. Ronaldo's got a contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. Ronaldo wears the number 7 shirt, and we got him for 19.8 million. Ronaldo's won 32 major trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. And you've got Paul Pogba, that's another good player. Not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. I give you the news on Paul Pogba this morning. Manchester United are prepared to sell Paul Pogba in the January transfer window. Pogba is out for 2 months, by the way, because on Monday Pogba suffered a thigh injury in France training. Even if Pogba was fit, he wouldn't have been able to play against Watford anyway after the international break because Pogba is suspended. He's only got 1 game though to serve out of the 3-match ban he got. Pogba got sent off for a 2-footed challenge on Naby Keita in the 5-0 defeat to Liverpool. Pogba did play in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta the other week and he put a poor performance out, and reflecting on that, Pogba got heavily criticised. Pogba did enjoy a good start to the Premier League season though. Obviously he's got 7 assists so far. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. His current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. But he has had a long-running transfer saga. There's been talks about him going back to Juventus. He's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid. PSG have been in for him. Barcelona have been in for him. It said earlier on this season that Pogba was offered to Barcelona, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far, and he's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. You've got Donny van der Beek, he's another good player that Manchester United have got, but I haven't really had much of a perception on Van der Beek at Man United because he hasn't been given enough game time. So reflecting on that, I think he's leaving Manchester United in January. And I've said Solskjaer needs to start Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League, because he's a good player. Van der Beek recently came on against Man City and he made an impact. He also came on in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta and made an impact. Prior to the Liverpool game, though, Solskjaer did admit that Van der Beek is frustrated and disappointed over his situation at Old Trafford, and it did say earlier on this season that Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer. He's enjoyed the difficult, 19 months at Man United. This season's Van der Beek's 2nd full season at the club. We got him for 40 million, add-ons were obviously included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. We've got Luke Shaw. That's a good left-back overall, but Luke Shaw hasn't proven how good he can be so far this season. I've got to make an admission regarding Shaw. I think he's been abysmal this season. Where's the Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season, Luke Shaw was superb. He was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. Luke Shaw's best game, I'd say, this season so far was the 3-0 win against Tottenham, even though he got booked in that game. Shaw was very poor against Man City. He was the main culprit for Man City's 2nd goal by Bernardo Silva. Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, hasn't he? He still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. Shaw has been at Manchester United for 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. He's injury prone, is Shaw, isn't he? That's a concern. He's injured now because he came off injured against Manchester City. Luke Shaw's got under 2 years left on his current contract. Alright. No. No. What?
They've took Mark in because his oxygen levels were low. That's why they've took him in.
Have they?
Scandalous, isn't it?
Mm.
They'll put him on oxygen, like they used to do with my dad.
Will they?
Yeah, they will do. I'll tell you what, he's got that fucking virus bad, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Some cunts give him it.
Mm.
I'm fucking fed up of it, I'm sick of it, mate. It's every fucking day. All you hear about is that.
Mm. So am I, so is everyone else.
Don't blame me, don't fucking fuck them. Don't blame me. I told her. Don't blame me. Fucking people off.
I don't.
We can't come out and this, that, and we can't come out because of COVID. Fuck off, you can't come out. There's someone here that wouldn't rather come out. Just leave people, don't go back, you say. That fucking Boris Johnson needs to go and fucking shit the facts on. And then fucking say to people over at the NHS, if you don't have a job, you won't have a job. Fuck you, can you?
Yeah, I know.
To be honest with you, I don't blame you for not going to McDonald's.
Does
I went last night. I said, oh, well, there was fat about it, everything else.
There's no point, I won't get it anyway, what's the point?
Just a wasted journey, just to get told you haven't got it. What, to email it next day says, thanks for attending, but you haven't got it.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that, I was just talking, but yes, that's what I said. You know, you've got Tellez, that's a good left back but doesn't really get in the team. You know, you've got Varane, that's a good centre half but out with injury at the moment. You've got Maguire, that can be good when he wants to be but he's been poor so far this season. You've got Bailly, that's a good centre half as well but injury prone. You've got Bissaka, that's a good right back but there's aspects of his game that's got to improve. And you've got De Gea, that's a good goalkeeper. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.